Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to my September TBR. I cannot believe we're in the final quarter of 2023. It literally boggles my brain. And unfortunately, August has not been my reading month. Life and other things got in the way and I didn't read that much and I kind of hit a slump. So I'm just going to take September easy, but I miss my TBR game. Prompt to prompt completely failed. I'll talk about it more in my August wrap up, which will be coming soon. But prompt to prompt this month just completely failed, and I'm just going to forget it ever happened. I'm going back to my trusty TBR game, which is pulling prompts from my TBR jar and also picking books from my physical TBR at random via Goodreads. I'm going to go for 4 prompts out of here and we're going to go for 2 Goodreads random choices. So if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Rachel. I do mostly booktube content with a little bit of lifestyle sprinkled in here and there. But when it comes to my TBR game, I pick 2 random books off my TBR via Goodreads and I just randomly choose them via a random number generator, and whichever books get pulled out I try and prioritise those 2 in a month to try and get my physical TBR down. And then I pick 4 TBR prompts out of my prompt jar, which can vary from TBR vet to favourite colour to favourite author, random number of pages, etc. And they're all in here, and I pick 4 from here and pick some books that fill the prompts. So that's how my September TBR game is going to go. Let's start with Goodreads to get like the more unpredictable choices out of the way. So I currently have 40 books on my TBR and my end of year 2023 goal is to get my physical TBR back down to under 30. I think it's definitely doable if I kind of minimise my book buying. So I currently have 40, so let's get a random number generator up. Random number generator. Do 1 to 40. Generate the first number is going to be 32. I feel like we've had number 32 before. Let's see what it is. Wait, I can just go down to the bottom. 40 and then count 8 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Okay. It's Nearly All Men in Lagos Are Mad. Let me get this book out. This is the book Goodreads has picked for me to read. I'm scared. So this book, I'll link the video up above and down below, but this book featured in my book shopping, book bingo video that I did for my birthday this past year. I went into London and brought like so many books, and I had a bookish bingo book card that I had to try and complete, and I picked this book up to fulfill the prompt of never heard of before. This is a collection of 12 short stories all about love in Lagos, varying from a story of a young lady who tries to find a soulmate in the streets of Lagos, to a pastor's wife who defends her husband from an allegation of adultery, to a wife who takes a knife to her husband's penis, which is kind of what gripped me in the synopsis in the first place, and a night of lustre between a rising musician and his Instagram baddie that takes an unexpected turn. I've heard no one speak about this book. I'm surprised and kind of worried the fact that this book came up, but the fact that it's like a collection of 12 short stories, I could do a short story kind of like every couple of days and kind of slowly make my way through this across the month. So this is the first book on my TBR. Scary, I'm scared. Let's random generate another number, and that's going to be number 16. Okay, the other end of my TBR. Okay, another TBR vet. So the other book Goodreads has chosen for me to read is A 7-Year Switch by Kelly Yarms, which was kindly gifted to me from a fellow subscriber and book friend I now class her as from creating this channel. And this is a adult kind of contemporary book, I believe. She wrote a whole letter on why I was going to enjoy this book, and I kind of got it gifted to me for Christmas. So this book means a lot to me because she went out of her way to write an entire kind of list of why I would love this book. There's 2 characters. One is kind of like a Pinteresty kind of really aesthetic mother, and then the other one is a productivity consultant, and then they have a freaky week where they switch lives for a week and something happens from there. And the reason she says I was gonna love it is because it has Disney references. One character has a spin bike. My spin bike literally off frame here. It's written in dual perspective. The characters are in their late 20s, early 30s. It's about female friendship. It's character driven. It's kind of an unpopular book on BookTube, and you'll fly through it. It's less than 300 pages. So this is the next book on my TBR, thanks to Goodreads. Two completely different vibes of books. So hopefully I'll be in the mood to read both of these this month. Fingers crossed. I'm really hoping September is a better reading month for me, because August was an absolute flop, so fingers crossed. So those are two books that Goodreads has chosen for me. Now let's go into my TBR jar for the month. The first prompt is going to be... I'm scared. And if you've never watched this game before, if two prompts get pulled out at once, then I have to pick a book that fits both of the prompts. And the prompt is... No one talks about it. Okay, that's so freaky, because obviously that was why I brought this book, was because no one talks about it. And then the reason my friend gifted me this book is because no one talks about it, and that's kind of what I'm known for on BookTube. So that's so interesting. Okay, I have a list of books I'd love to get to by the end of summer, so I'm going to check that list and see if any books that I want to read kind of fulfills that prompt. For No One Talks About It, I'm going to go for Big Summer by Jennifer Weiner, I want to say. This is another gifted book. This is kind of gifted to me by Chloe from Chloe Reads Book. You guys all know her by now. And I got this for Christmas last year, I want to say, so about time I read it. What's been putting me off is the text is tiny, and I've never heard of it before. So not only have I never heard of it, I haven't heard anyone else talk about this book either. Chloe picked it up for me because she thought I would enjoy it just from the blurb and the synopsis. So I'm intrigued to kind of see what I think. Sorry in advance if I don't love this book. That's why I'm kind of nervous to read it as well, because I don't want to hate a book that's been gifted to me. So this book basically follows two main characters, Drew and Daphne, and they used to be best friends in school, and then something drastic happens and they kind of end their friendship. So when Drew randomly comes back into Daphne's life asking to be her maid of honour for her wedding in Cape Cod in one summer, Daphne finds herself powerless to say no, and then kind of like something happens from there. It sounds like right up my alley, so if Chloe has done well with this book pick, I'll be incredibly grateful and very, very happy, because I love finding out about new books I've never heard of before and kind of allowing myself to recommend them to you guys as well, to kind of like follow on the kind of hype train and get other people excited about unknown books, because sometimes hyped books are too hyped and they have so much attention that you need to shine a light on books that haven't had that much attention. So hopefully this is a winner. Let's pick our next prompt for our fourth book of September. Let's go for this one, and it's going to be, oh, I can't read that, it's upside down. A book that wasn't released this year. This is one of my new prompts because I want to try and get to the books that weren't released this year. Oh dear. Okay, a book that wasn't released this year. I'm going to have to go to Goodreads and find what some of those books are. Okay, I have two options for this pick. What two books I do want to try and get around to before summer ends. The first one is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I feel like I finally need to get around to reading this. I keep putting it off because people either say if you love the Love Hypothesis, you're going to love this one just as much because you love the Love Hypothesis, or that you're going to hate this book because you love the Love Hypothesis. And I feel like I need to finally read this book to find out for myself. This is another kind of romance from Ali Hazelwood. I've heard very mixed things about this, so I've been putting it off for quite some time. Or the other one is 7 Days of June. I kindly got gifted this from, I want to say Chloe again. Chloe, Rhiannon, or Emily. I can't remember who gifted me this book for my birthday this past year. But I want to get to this book. I saw it on an Instagram reel of books that you need to read before the end of summer, so then it kind of like reignited my interest in reading it. So this one is obviously a typical adult romance, fluffy, easy to read. This one basically follows two main characters, 7 days to fall in love, 15 years to forget, and 7 days to get it all back again. When Ava, a single mother and best-selling erotica writer, and award-winning novelist Shane Hall meet at a literary event in New York, sparks fly. What no one knows is that 15 years earlier, teenage Eva and Shane spent 1 week together, madly in love. While they may pretend to be strangers, they can't deny their chemistry. Over the next 7 days, amidst a steamy Brooklyn summer, Eva and Shane can reconnect. But Eva is wary of the man who broke her heart and wants Shane out of the city, so her life can return to normal. Before he disappears, though, she needs a few questions answered. Okay, I think I'm going to go for this one. It just sounds more interesting to me right now, so yeah, I'm going to add this one to my TBR for a book that wasn't released this year. It was released in 2022. Let's go for prompt number 5, the penultimate prompt. Pool. We're getting some good prompts. I'm going to go for this one because it's uncurling as we speak. So this one is flip a coin. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. Okay. We're gonna go for the book that I just mentioned, Love on a Brain by Ali Hazelwood, and a book that I want to read by the end of the year, and if I keep putting off, I'm never going to read it by the end of this year. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. So I'm going to flip between these two. I'm going to go heads for Love on the Brain and tails for Abby Jimenez's Yours Truly. And we're going to flip again, and it's going to be heads. Okay. Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. It is added to the TBR. This one follows another kind of STEM main character who works in STEM, female. When her equipment starts to go missing and the staff ignore her, Bee could swear she sees Levi softening into an ally. So I think this is just like an enemies to lovers Ali Hazelwood romance. I don't want to go into it knowing too much, but apparently it's very, very similar formatted to her other one, The Love Hypothesis. So yeah, I would say apprehensive to go into this one for sure. And for the last prompt pool, we're gonna go for, let's go near the top. Let's go for this one, and it's going to be continue a series. Do I have any series in the middle? I don't think I'm in the middle of any series. Continue a series. Continue a series. I know what I'm going to pick. So I'm not currently in the middle of any series on my TBR trolley. However, I'm currently in the middle of rereading a series as one of my favourite series. So that only means the only choice I have is continuing my series of the I Heart series, and my next one is I Heart Christmas. So me trying to like get to the last few summary books I have on my TBR to throwing in a Christmas book, but you know, you gotta have balance. So this is the sixth book in the Lindsay Kelp I Heart series. The first one follows our main character Angela, who finds out that her husband is cheating on her at her best friend's wedding, so she ups and leaves her life behind to go and restart her life in New York City, and adventures and romances and friendship starts from there. And you literally just follow every single book. It's an 8-book series. Every single book follows Angela in a different kind of country or situation as she creates this whole new life for herself, and this is book number 6. I've forgotten what this one is about, so I'm excited to go back into it and tab it all up and reread it and continue my reread of the I Heart series. So this TBR is turned out to be a pretty good one. Nice and chill, some kind of challenging books in there, but also just some nice light-hearted books as well. So let's recap. For my first Goodreads choice, we got Nearly Everybody in Lagos Are Mad by Demelia Cuckoo? I don't know how to pronounce that awful name. When I read the book, I will find out. And then the next Goodreads choice was A 7-Year Switch by Kelly Yarms. And then we have No One's Heard of It, so I went for Big Summer by Jennifer Weiner. And then we got a book not released this year, so I went for 7 Days of June by Tina Williams. And then we got Flip a Coin, and it was between Abby Jimenez's Yours Truly and Love on a Brain by Ali Hazelwood, and Love on a Brain has won. So finally going to get around to that one. And then finally, to continue a series, I'm going to continue my series of Lindsay Kelk's I Heart series and read book number 6, I Heart London. I'm actually really excited for this TBR, not gonna lie, especially since I've been very uninspired to read recently. So having these books on my TBR I think is gonna really help me, because there's some that I'm really excited to read. A lot of them are gonna be nice, easy romances, contemporaries that I can probably fly through. And then there's a couple of like more interesting ones like this one to kind of like dig my teeth into and kind of try something new. So I'm very excited for all of these books for September. I can't believe we're in the last couple of months of the year. It is crazy, and all my end of year videos are planned out, which is mental. I cannot believe it, but I got so into like planning all my content, so pretty much all of it's planned up until the end of the year, which is... But anyway, let me know what books are on your September TBR in the comments down below. What are you excited to read? Are you reading any of the books similar to me? Have you read these? What are your thoughts? Spoiler free, of course, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below to see future content from me. I do anything from monthly TBRs, monthly wrap-ups, weekly reading vlogs, and any other bookish content that you could think of. I usually have it on this channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And without further ado, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.